Hello, this is RICKY, the YouTube Tech Guy. Hey guys, another week, another better camera. Actually, this is my brand new camera. I literally just took it out of the box maybe about an hour or so ago, and I have been playing with it. This is the top-of-the-line camera I've ever had on the show, and it's actually fully in 1080p at 60 via USB. Not capture card, so it should be looking pretty good. Let me know how it is. Basically, I was sponsored by Mr. Beast. No, not really. In a sense, basically, I'm part of this program called Creative Juice, and what it is basically they give you a lot of money up front that you would have made in order to basically, hopefully, you would increase your numbers going forward. And so one of the things I did with that is get a new camera, and this is basically the best camera I've ever had on the channel, so let me know what you guys think. But already I think it looks absolutely amazing just from seeing the way it looks back, so let me know how it is, guys. But yeah, let's get to the next topic, which is all the news. And today we have a lot of news, but if you have any questions you want to ask, just ask them in the comment section down below, and I will answer it before the end of the show. But speaking of things looking good, we have a really good looking new set of phones from Rizr, of all people. So I thought that was really kind of interesting. This is a very, very interesting phone. So basically, the entire front of the screen of the flip phone, right, is actually basically a screen, like almost the entire front of it. The two punch-out holes are the two cameras in it, and this just brings a lot of cool stuff. Now, I've been really excited about having how clear it is in terms of basically how is this going to be compared to like the N2 flips that just came out, right? I thought that had a much better screen than the Samsung one that I really, really was impressed with, and like I would love to test it out if it comes to the US possibly. But this one is really cool because this is Rizr kind of making a comeback, because let's be honest, Rizr of all people, you know, they should be with a flip phone, right? But last year's was only released in China because they didn't think it would sell well outside of China. And yeah, I was just really kind of down by that. And it really, like, I want them to compete because, look, Samsung's kind of been on their own for the most part with foldable phones, right? TCLs didn't end up happening. Moto didn't even come to the US last year. And now we're getting the Find N2. Now we might be getting this one. I think it really, really could be quite good just from the look of things. So we'll hope to see something really impressive. But either way, this makes Samsung not do a small bump up like they did, I would say, in the last 2 years. You know, Samsung basically upgraded the cameras and the battery, and that was about it. There wasn't much of a difference each year. So I really want to see a little bit more from Samsung in their flip phones, and this could very well make them do it. But this is a concept. This was a leak, right? What Moto had live in their hands at MWC right now, Mobile World Congress, is a rollable concept phone that is a small phone that rolls up into a big one. Now, we haven't really seen something like this since like LG's prototypes. And again, this is a concept device. It's not saying that it will definitely come out, but it's really cool to see just what they're cooking. So basically, the front of the rollable will have a kind of like an always-on display on your back, right? And then when it extends, it rolls in this way, and this part kicks up so that this part from the back is then longer. And I think that's really cool. I honestly, I think that's a really cool concept. I think it's very cool looking, and what, like, the possibilities for that. Like, it's just a smaller phone, and then it becomes a bigger one. So if you wanted, like, smaller phones, I think this is something that, you know, look at that. Look how small that is. It's really interesting to see how small that phone really is. But Let me know what you guys think. I'm very curious about it. Obviously, you can keep it that way, and then just when you want a bigger phone, have it that way. But yeah, I mean, that's in a front shirt pocket that it fits in, the entire phone, right, when it's rolled down. So that is pretty cool, just how much of a small phone you can have, and then just click it up, and it will roll into a big phone. I'm a fan of like different things like this, different kind of concepts. So yeah, let me know what you guys think, but I am all for something different like this. All right, and then the biggest announcement so far out of MWC has been Xiaomi's finally going international, at least launching in Europe and Asia with their Xiaomi 13 series phones. So this is the first real time when we're seeing Xiaomi broaden more and not just be in the US. Or sorry, they're never in the US. Not just be in the China market, right? So these series of phones were already released in December of last year, but now we are getting them internationally. And to give you an idea, I mean, this phone, especially the Pro, right? The Pro is the one that goes up against Samsung's flagship, is really impressive. Like, it has a QHD plus 120 Hz display, 1900 Hz brightness, 120 watt fast charging with a 4820 battery, which is about the same as the 5000 on Samsung's. A Pro 50 megapixel camera for each one. So that means the telephoto is a 50 megapixel and the ultra wide is a 50 megapixel. Yes, Xiaomi, please keep doing that to force Samsung to actually upgrade their ultra wide camera. And then we have a 1-inch sensor Sony camera as the main primary sensor. I've already looked at a few videos from my good friend who's at MWC, TK Bay. And if you check out his recent video on the Xiaomi 13 Pro, he does this video of a pizza, and it looks absolutely phenomenal. It looks like it came out of more of like a compact camera because of its really big sensor. It just, there's a different look to it. And that is really impressive. And again, something I'm very curious about. 50 watt wireless charging too. Like its wireless charging is faster than most phones' wired charging. That's awesome. The only thing I will say is that as of right now, it's very pricey, at meaning that it's the same price pretty much going head to head with Samsung. So $1,299 for the 13 Pro. I mean, that is really, I don't know how well you can do going the same price of the king of Android, right? Like, Samsung is the leader, and Samsung still, every year, outsells everyone in smartphones. It is the king of smartphones around the world. So, for you to kind of go at that price point, I do think they should have made it at least $100, if not $200 less expensive. At least that would be my recommendation. I'm curious to know what you guys think. Even with a better sensor, faster charging, same processor, all of those good things, a better ultra-wide camera, all of those things, would it have any chance of you buying it if it is at the same price, if not more, than Samsung? Let me know in the comment section. Very curious. Alright, and then we move on to the next one, which is some of the Samsung stuff. So some Samsung stuff is basically more out there right now. So the first one is that we're getting our first images of the Galaxy A54 and the Galaxy A34. So it's very similar to last year's. I mean, you have those three cameras that are now kind of being standard for Samsung going at it. So yeah, I mean, it's what we kind of expect, you know, bigger bezels for these ones, flat displays. And yeah, the 53 was a really, really good phone last year. And I can't wait I will be checking out the 54 just because you guys seem to like the 50 series a lot on my channel. So I will be reviewing it when the 54 comes out. And yeah, I'm very excited for it. Very curious to see how it goes and what it's going to be. And then you even have the 34, which is going to be more of an entry level with a MediaTek processor instead of a Qualcomm. But yeah, overall, very curious to see how these go. And yeah, let me know if you're going to be in the market for them. We expect them to be launched around April, I would say, and probably announced at the end of March, but we'll have to wait and see if they kind of go normal. Then, just because I heard someone say Fan Edition, speaking of the Fan Edition version, it does look like, according to new leaks, that one, there will be a Galaxy S23 FE, and it's going to use the same processor as last year's foldables did. So a Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1 CPU on there, which is better than I thought. I thought it would get a Gen 1 period, not the Plus variant. So that is really, really kind of cool. The fact that we're getting one that good. And yeah, I think if this comes out, I hope that it comes out, you know, with the foldables, and you can kind of, Samsung can kind of hit everyone at all angles, right? If they can really do this right for the Galaxy S23 FE, I mean, you're talking about going up against Pixel and iPhone right before their launch and hitting them with a lower price than they ever could. So yeah, do this right, Samsung, and you could have a real big hit on your hand. All right. Then we have something really interesting here, and that is on the watch. The Samsung Galaxy Watch 6 will be coming out with the foldables at the later half of this year. And we're supposed to get the watches and the tablets with it. So last week we talked about how the Tab S9 looks like it's going to be IP rated, so it's going to have some water resistance on it. But the other thing is now the watch is expected to have more of a curved glass display. It's very similar to how the Pixel Watch was, and I think because a lot of people said how beautiful looking the Pixel Watch was. The problem, of course, with a curved glass display is that it can crack more easily, and I would say a lot of people on the Samsung side, me included, like specifically this kind of design because we're not going to crack our displays. So I'm curious what you guys think in this, because I will admit, I absolutely love the Pixel Watch design. It's a beautiful jewelry piece, right? You know, just really wanted to go for that curvature design that is very sexy looking. But Samsung has done this before, really, with the fitness watches, and that was the first ever watch that I scratched. I never scratched another watch since, and I haven't scratched a watch before that. But that was, smartwatch. But that was the first one that I did scratch, and I felt because it didn't have any protection whatsoever, so that when I hit it, it wouldn't have any issues. So yeah, I'm a little nervous about that happening, but I'm curious to know what your guys' thoughts are. Are you excited about it having more of a Pixel Watch style design, or did you want it to stay with its current iteration design? Because it looks like they're going for a curved glass. And then finally, we have just something that I thought you guys should see kind of thing. And that is the Nokia logo. So this is really interesting that Nokia has a new logo. They have not had a new logo for many years. And this is their new logo. Very, it reminds me of like PlayStation games, namely God of War. And as well, what's the other one? The Aloy game, Horizon, Event Horizon, or no, Horizon. I forgot what it's called. But that one is going to be basically, I forgot what it's called. I know it's like where it's the robot dinosaurs, but I can't think of it. Aloy is the main protagonist. I just played it on PlayStation VR this weekend, testing that one out right now. But yeah, this is something that I think is really interesting to see how it looks and how it's going to move forward. Especially because, you know, Nokia really hasn't been in the limelight for a long time, so I'm very curious to see how it's going to be and how it's going to operate. But let me know what you guys think. Do you like the new logo? Horizon Zero Dawn, there you go. Thank you very much. Alright guys, and now we're going to get to your questions. If you have a question you want to ask, again, just ask it in the comment section down below, and I will answer it before the end of the show. By the way, I was a little nervous because I did turn this camera on about 20 minutes before the live stream just to see if it would work, and I saw that it did a much better quality at 1080p 60 frames, which is my preferred way of shooting. But the biggest thing I will say was that I was worried about was it overheating, because it overheated when I tested it very quickly. But now I have a fan blowing cool air on it, so it seemed to be going well. But if anything does happen, because we're going over half an hour now since I turned it on, I will switch to a different camera. I have it at the ready, so basically I'm just going to switch out the lens and then boom, be ready for it if need be. But yeah, let's go ahead and see what else we have here. Alright, let's go ahead and see all your questions, guys. It looks really good. How are you doing today, Ricky? I'm doing good, doing good. I'm actually very happy with myself so far. I believe I'm going to lose over 10 pounds this month. Another weight loss challenge for the month. But man, I will say I've had the stiffest competition this month. Last week I was at 9 pounds lost, and the other guy was at 10. Or out of the 5 other people that are doing this weight loss challenge, the other guy was at 10. So I haven't worked out for me because it's percentage too, and he weighed less starting off. So I have to weigh less for sure, and the percentage has to be enough for me to take the win. But regardless, obviously I'm getting healthier, so I'm very happy about that. But man, it's been stiff competition for sure. Excellent clear 1080 camera. Yeah, so I mean this camera can shoot 4K no problem, but a lot of these Sony cameras have this ability to connect via USB to your laptop without a capture card and use them as your webcam. The reason why this will look so much better than a webcam that does 1080p is because the sensor is huge. It's a full frame sensor, and I've even taken photos with it, again, just in the hour that I had it before this stream, and it has a 33 megapixel sensor for the camera, and I was able to zoom in really close to my son after taking a photo, and I was like amazed at that quality, because again, there's one thing about having, you know, a 200 megapixel sensor, and there's another thing when that sensor is so huge that it captures everything in perfect detail with the higher megapixel that it's just unreal. It looks absolutely amazing. So I'm very happy with this purchase, and I'm very happy with the quality of videos that I will be able to do more so moving forward with this. Very sharp, congrats, thank you. Will playing videos on YouTube with the loop feature count as multiple views? Like this video by this guy about tips and tricks for that Swinter. Yes, if you play it on a loop, it will count for multiple views. And I would, oh my god, if my watch time would go up like crazy, that would be awesome. But although if one person does it, it probably could get flagged as like, oh wait, they would think it's me, because it's like, who watches that many? But yeah, if it would be consistent like that, it would probably get flagged. Used to love rizr. How come they can't? Hope they come back strong. Love competition. I do too. I love a competitive market more so than just one person being on top or two people being on top. The more competition, the more that it has to keep pushing. Because right now, I feel like Samsung is resting on their laurels a little too much. Especially more foldables, right? Because they're the only game in town in the US specifically, and in Korea. So it's like they're just like, well, you know, we're good, and yeah, I don't want them to be able to do that. I want them to be like, oh dang, they're right behind us. Like we need to keep innovating. More so like what they do with their S series. I think their S series keeps pushing the boundaries of continually going better and better camera quality, better battery life, all these kind of things. But we're not getting that with foldables, I feel like, because of the fact that they feel that they might not have to, because there's no competition out in foldable market right now. By and far, mind you. Samsung should get rid of the A lineup and promote the FE one. It's funny because, yeah, I will say, it really is about that, right? Like, I think the A series is extremely popular, but there is something about I forgot what year it was, but like iPhone called, I think it was the iPhone 9 mini, right, or something like that, and it sold terrible. Then the following year, what they did was they called it the iPhone XR. And basically what it was just like, it was still a lighter version, but because it didn't tell you it was a lighter version, it was just called the XR, more people bought it. And it was just, it's the synonymous branding. Like, oh, I want something else that comes this year. That's why I think Samsung is skipping ahead, and instead of calling this one the S22 FE, they're going to call it the S23 FE. Basically make it like, we're going to line this up this time just so people think like, oh, okay, no, this is a more better quality brand did version of this one. So they're gonna be like, oh, you can get the S23 or you can get the S23 FE, and FE doesn't sound so bad, so you're just like, well, yeah, I'll just get the FE if it's $500 out the door. So yeah, I would be in total favor of, instead of releasing a 73 or 74 this year, instead of releasing an A70 series, release an FE. And I think because they're right around the same price point typically, about $100 difference sometimes, but I think that would be much better for sure. Smash a like for Don Ricardo. Hey, a whole bunch of questions loaded. Everybody drink. Let's see. What camera did you purchase? I purchased the Sony A7 IV. So there's a lot of cameras out there that I was thinking about getting, including the FX30. But I really, I mean, again, I cannot afford to buy all the fanciest things that everything out there. But this was a $2,700 camera that I bought for $1,800. So effectively saving about $800 off the price of this one. $1,899, so $1,900. And it was a really good deal. It was an open box at Best Buy. I was waiting for an open box. And this one didn't come with a battery. It didn't come with a charger. It didn't come with any of the booklets. It did come with a box. So I was very kind of, wary. I didn't know what it came with. All it said online was open box, fair condition, right? So the reason I got this camera as opposed to the one I had before, so I had this one, which was the A7C. So the A7C, which I still would recommend, like, this is the #1 camera I would recommend to anyone that wants a camera around $1,500 price range, because it's the best, lowest price full frame sensor that is going to be absolutely amazing. And it's what I've shot most of my content with over the past year and a half now. There is also this one, which is the best camera you can get under $1,000. So this one is the Sony, what is it called again? The ZV-E10. So this one is going to be the main one I would recommend for under $1,000. So this one will be the main one under $1,000, really good. And you can see I have like cages for a lot of these too, so I can mount it sideways for verticals or horizontal. And already I set up the cage for this one. But there was something that I could not do until now, which is this one, as good as it is, and there's probably going to be a part 2 of this model coming out in the later half of the year, September, October time. So I might buy that one too and upgrade this one. There is expected to be a model that does what this camera can, and that is shooting at 4K at 60 frames per second. And two of the big things that I want to be able to do this year is record in 4K 60 frames per second and be able to edit very quickly in it. My current laptop can edit 1080p 60 no problem, but I do have a feeling once I get 4K, it's going to start to be sluggish, so I probably will need to upgrade it from this eventually when I get it. But yeah, so that's all I'm thinking about right now, is all of these different factors and everything. We'll have to wait see how it is, but this is the reason I got the camera. It's probably the best camera I would recommend for under $3,000 for anyone to buy. If again, so like different price points, right? This is the best one under 3,000, and again, I got it open box for under 2,000. This one you can generally get for around 1,500 for this one, and even lower sometimes if you get open box or discounted. And this one's under 1,000. So all different tiers, all different levels, and again, slowly upgrading. If you ever want to see videos on why I chose these cameras and all that, let me know too. I mean, I did a lot of research before buying cameras and upgrading a couple years back, and then I've only continued to grow it since then. All right, let's see. I got the Samsung S23 Ultra Saturday, looking good so far. Yeah, there was a really big update that helped out the battery life a lot. So if you haven't gotten that update, make sure to try to update it as soon as you can. Also watch Ricky's video and set it up accordingly. Thank you, Cooper. Man, dude, I cannot tell you how much I appreciate that, guys. Like, the camera video is already over 4,000 views, no sweat, and huge watch time on it. Watch time definitely helps YouTube recommend it. And it helps, obviously, you know, one thing I am partial to, it helps me get more money for the video. So I cannot tell you guys, thank you guys so much for everyone that's watched those videos. Those two literally support the channel for the rest of the year. So if you guys can get a chance, watch it once, like it, share it, and watch it all the way through. It will help my channel immensely. All right. I saw dial bezels on the regular Samsung watch. I wonder if they can do the review on that one. Yeah, I don't know. I still like physical bezels. They got rid of that, obviously, but I do like this little concave in so that you don't scratch or like hit it against something. Keep in mind, I have T-Mobile Jump. I should jump to the should I jump to the S22? Oh wait, sorry. I can't see it. Did you ask me earlier if you should update? I mean... Oh, wait. Jump to the S22 Ultra or jump to the S23 Ultra, Rudy? The S23, man, the photo quality is really that much better. And the video quality definitely better low light, for sure. So if you... I know you record at night, man, but you do it on probably your regular camera, I'm assuming. But if you do any of the shots or video on for like your music stuff that you do with your camera, then yeah, man, it's worth the low light for sure for the S23 Ultra. But for the S22, what are you jumping from? If you did mean the S22, I would prefer Samsung went back to remove movable bezels on the watch. I personally don't like the idea of having some sort of not having some sort of protection on your screen. I don't either, man. Like you said, it was the first one I scratched, so it was something that I just didn't like. Whoa, a whole bunch of questions just loaded. Everybody drink. I forgot what the VR version of Horizon's called. I think it's like the Mountain or something like that. I remember something Mountain was in the title. Oh, dang it. No, I had the digital code that I used to load it in, but I threw it out. But yeah, I'm not sure. Let's see. Don't care for the Pixel Watch design. I hope Samsung doesn't use the design. I would scratch the thing like crazy. Same here, man. I will say, I forgot the company's name, but I just used a screen protector that's like Whitestone. They basically kind of ripped Whitestone off for the Pixel Watch. And it's a really good screen protector that I put on there. And it comes with 3 of them, so very inexpensive for it. If anyone has a Pixel Watch, let me know. I can try to look it up. But that screen protector for the Pixel Watch is really good. So I would hope that Whitestone or that company would make one for the Watch 6, the Galaxy Watch 6, if it comes like that, because I would definitely need it. And put it on immediately. Does Samsung have any earbuds coming out this year? I don't know, to be honest. I mean, the obvious one, and this just tells you how far behind I am in some of the products, I have yet to open my Pixel Buds 2 Pro that I got with my Fold. It's literally just been right here on my desk as to like try to remind me to. But yeah, I've gotten so many new earbuds. You know, it's just like I'm very lucky in this fact that like I've gotten all these earbuds. You know, and you know which ones in my pocket's the Jabra. So I just haven't gotten a chance to. Yeah. Let's see. I've not been impressed by Samsung earbuds other than the connection to Samsung products. Yeah, I haven't been impressed by them. I heard these were a big jump up from the quality, but like I just don't know what they could offer that my current ones don't. Like Jabra I get because they can connect to any two devices no matter what without an app. Oh, I just went out. Hello. Hey guys, I'm back. Yeah, the camera did overheat. Oh, that's right. The camera did overheat in the end. So yeah, was a little for too long, so it got to about 45 minutes and then it overheated. Let's see. Let's brighten this up a little bit. There we go. All right. We have sound coming video. Yeah, alright guys, sorry about that. The camera did overheat after that long. And yeah, it's just the back right here is a little toasty. The camera itself isn't that hot, but yeah, I think that back just got a little too toasty. So good to know. It can go for about 40 minutes straight of recording, but beyond that, it might tend to overheat. So good to know. Maybe I won't be able to do that all the time, but now we're back at 720p. Alright, let's see. Let's go ahead and see what you guys had to say. Sorry about that. Let's see. I've not been impressed. I just got the One UI 5.1 on the S22 Ultra. Love that try the image clip, but not working. Do I have to wait for more updates? I'll get it. I can't say if you'll get that feature or not because honestly I don't know. As far as I know, Samsung hasn't said that specifically, and I haven't had an S22 in about a year, right? Over a year. So I do not know, to be quite honest, but I would imagine that if we are able to get it, let's see. I would say that could definitely be a feature. It's not anything too processor intensive. It's not anything too. So I would assume it should be able to come with an update, but it could also be something that they keep just for the higher end, or not the higher end, but the newer devices per se. So we'll have to wait and see. What are your thoughts on JBL headphones, Ricky? Have you ever tried them? I've tried some over-ear JBLs in the past. I got these really actually cool JBLs that you mentioned from MediaTek, and I just haven't gotten a chance to test them out. They're earbuds, but they're very low latency because they're made from MediaTek. So they actually have a smart chip inside of it that allows it to connect with the USB Type-C dongle, so you can have like zero latency. They're made for more like gaming and stuff like that, so they're gaming earbuds. But they look really cool, and I'm very interested in it, especially because they're also supposed to be really good for audio recording. So I'm very interested in those. But yeah, I haven't gotten a chance to really test them out yet. Let's see. You can get a bigger camera with full frame. Just get the Canon 60. I do love Canons. Really good, obviously. But for me, I've gotten so deep into Sony that I love it, and I don't think you can get better low light than Sony at this point. It's just really, really good in low light. I mean, my ISO right now is at 250, which, if you know about cameras, that is insane that it's that low and still looks good. So yeah. I have an S10 Plus. Pros of upgrading to the S23. For the S23 Plus, you are going to get a better camera. That did come out last year. And in terms of the S23, you'll also get a better battery life. So those are going to be your two biggest upgrades, as well as, software updates, newer interface, newer features. I don't think you had director's view and things like that, so the ability to shoot with both cameras, front and rear, little extras like that, which again don't always mean that it will be good for you per se, but those are the kind of upgrades. The biggest thing I would say is your camera quality will definitely be noticeably better, quicker, and your battery life is going to be noticeably better. I would say probably from the S10 Plus, guessing about 2 to 3 hours more than what you currently have a day. I miss the iris scanner, but the face scanner works so fast, I suppose. Yeah, but it's just not as secure. The face scan, you can trick it. The iris scan was more foolproof than anything else on the market still. I just got the Sony a7 III for my first professional camera style. Congratulations! I definitely a beginner. I feel a little overwhelmed, and online classes and books that you would recommend on them. Not per se. I do watch. I think his name is SLR, a video shooter. His name is Caleb on his channel. I watch him for a lot of recommendations on stuff, but yeah, I just kind of searched YouTube for like beginner's guide and all that kind of stuff when I moved from Panasonic to Sony, so I could really set it up and customize it. I did like best settings kind of videos for it. Not confident enough to make one myself, but confident enough that I know everything that I want to do on this camera. Let's see. Face scanner is worthless. Why Samsung won't allow for payments? Yeah, no, because it can be tricked for sure. Yeah, I didn't even think that probably would be great for show recordings. Yeah. Problem is that YouTube app doesn't use your full camera's potential. Yeah, no, it doesn't for sure. Whoa, a whole bunch of questions loaded. Everybody drink. Hello, discount Whitestone Great Pebble. Oh man, Quiet Storm, that's awesome. Have a Galaxy. What are the pros and cons of upgrading to the S23? What are the reason AT&T promo offering says S23? So I just realized you say S23. I would assume you had meant S23 Plus, since that's where you're going to. The regular S23, you're going to get a smaller display, whereas the S23 Plus, you would either have the same display or a slightly bigger display, if I'm not mistaken. The cons, I believe the S10 Plus still had the micro SD card, which we haven't had since I want to say the S20, 21. Haven't had that for a long time. You have more built-in storage as well. What are the other cons? The SD card was the biggest thing for sure. Yeah, I can't think of any other cons off the top of my head rather than the SD card. But it's only if you do a live stream recording after it's better quality. Yeah, exactly. Now I'll probably I would still probably use this new camera for every video I do in front of here now because it's so much of a better quality. But yeah, it might not be made for an hour-long live stream. I just wanted to try it, but I was happy. I was loving the quality, the way it looked. But yeah, it might not be ready for a live stream unless I find like another fan to put just right on it to keep it from overheating. Because that one was coming in from this side, so it was about like, more gap than I can show on here. So yeah, I would have to have like a thin fan point upward at it, which isn't out of the realm of possibilities. I might be able to do something there. All right. Let's see. Ricky left to watch Last of Us. I have still not caught up on it, guys. I'm so like... Ricky needs water cooling for the camera. I need a water-cooled camera system. Yes. All for it. YouTube couldn't handle Ricky at 1080p too much. I don't know if it's too much handsomeness, but it's a lot of fun. But yeah. I know cameras. I was a professional photographer for 11 years and more. Yeah, no. I know you do. And that's why I feel like you do... I have too many Canon lenses to switch to Sony, and I'm the same way. I have too many Sony. I have a total of about 8 Sony lenses to switch to Canon. I mean, I'll get a mount adapter, but I won't switch, kind of thing, right? What is the best fast car charger? So my response to that would be, what is your phone? Because if you want the best, fastest car charger for Samsung, Samsung's own is going to give you super fast charging. So let's go ahead and just say this real quick. Let's go Amazon. And let's switch to this. Oh, it did switch over. It couldn't. Galaxy. Oh, no. Samsung fast car charger. So, nope, not that one. It's the one that has Type C and Type A. Here we go. So this one would be the best one for Samsung. So if you were specifically getting for Samsung, this would be it. Let me go through my order history because I do have another one that would probably be the best for non-Samsung. But let me take a look. I think it's this one. So yeah, so this one I think is the one I'd recommend for non-Samsung ones, and it's because it has 36 watts on the bottom and 18 watts with quick charge. So I mean, this is a really, really good one for sure. So that would be it. Boom. All right. Let's see. Ricky, is that a drink coaster? What? Wait, what was the drink coaster? I missed the joke. What did I have that was like a drink coaster? I don't know. Let's see. I use my Galaxy S22 Ultra for videos. Do you have a tips and tricks for better videos? So yes, I do have a tips and tricks video for the Galaxy Ultra S22 for tips and tricks. I think it's still on my main channel. So if you go on the main channel home screen, it's one of the videos. So yeah, you can definitely get it for sure. Just scroll down basically, and you'll see S22, and it's one of the videos in the playlist, one of the first ones, because that video got like I think a couple 100,000 views. So I will say with the S22, if it has changed from the way that one looked, the thing that I would recommend then is look at the new video for the S23, because when the S22 Ultra gets a lot of software updates, it will look closer to the S23. Like I think the S22 just got camera assistant, if I'm not mistaken, which is what I went over on the S23. So just to give you a heads up for it. Let's see. Ricky, I tried ordering the S10 on eBay. The seller wanted it back. I was very angry at him. Have you had any problems on eBay? I did have problems on eBay a long time ago, but have not had problems in many years. I try to always be cautious of BS, but I mean, here's the thing. Did he not send it or what? Because he could want it back, but if you purchased it and he already sent it, I mean, it's up to you if you want to give that back to him. So yeah, I mean, if you want to do that as it goes into your heart, I understand, but unless he's trying to like remote lock it because he didn't take his account off of it or something like that. But yeah, just make sure you get a refund and everything for it. It's crazy that a big camera overheat, but retreating from your phone is fine for a few hours. Yeah, well, yes, but I would say the cooling system is not very well thought of in a camera comparing to a smartphone, which is hilarious, of course, because it has so much more room to make a better cooling system. I think if they figured out the shutter for a phone, as well as a bigger sensor, then phones will overtake pretty much. Yeah, no, for sure. I am actually going to get... Sony did reach out and said they wanted to send me the first smartphone I would ever get from them. The Sony, I don't know which Sony it is. I know it's one with a full-inch sensor. And it has the vlogging screen on the back. So it's a really cool screen. I don't have it here, do I? No, I left it in the other room. But basically what it's going to do is the screen attaches to the back of the phone so that you can basically vlog with the main cameras and see yourself on a screen, and it connects through Type-C. So really, really cool concept. I can't wait to test it out. But yeah, very curious to see how that goes. Let's see. And then... what was it? Messing up all the questions. I thought you said it wasn't a coaster, but I don't remember where you said that. But yeah. Speaking of band recording, what is the best phone microphone you can get? Do you want a shotgun mic, or do you want... So I use the DJI mic for a lot of things. That's the one that I would say is like the best overall microphone I would recommend. So DJI microphone. DJI microphone. It's just really, really good. And I mean, it's the best one out there. They also sell a cheaper version of it now with only one receiver, because they've always had one with two receivers. So yeah, so that's with that one, right? But what was I gonna tell you? Speaking, so that one is the DJI mic, but I did get a really good mic that was via Type C. So microphone. Let's see if I can find it real quick. Let's see. Okay, so I think this would be it. If I'm not mistaken, making sure. Alright, so this one is one of the better shotgun mics, but you really have to kind of set it up like this, basically, right? Where this, you're going to be putting it on a mount for it, but this one is an incredibly good microphone, especially for the price. Like, the audio quality that comes out of here is probably the best shotgun mic I could recommend for that purpose. Oh, and is this a double one or no? No, so this wasn't the double one. I know they did have this one, which is a newer model, I think, of this one. But this one came with the adapter, if I'm not mistaken, for Android. Or you had to still buy it separately. I think maybe you still had to buy it separately. Like, I bought the version that I bought came with this. So it was the 3.5 or RCSS, I think, to Type C, and so it would work. Because this version is not included. So I remember the version I bought did have that. And then I bought one as well, just for as a regular shotgun mic, because it was such good quality for my regular camera. But yeah, so this one I would say is the best shotgun mic. And while I'm here, someone did ask me which microphone am I using right now. It is the Shure M7. M7, let's see, Shure, I think it's the Shure M7, and then, yeah, the M7B is the, like, highest end one, this one, the SM7B is the one that all podcasters use, and then this one is like its little brother. It's still really good quality. I mean, as you can hear me, it's really good. I got the one with the tripod specifically, but I mean, obviously you can get whatever one you want and just use whatever you need, but this one is the best one for sure. Sure. All right. Let's see. Yeah, that's a bit more of a bargain for sure. I feel like I'm saying sure a lot after talking about sure. Do you know the best video editing program for Android? It's LumaFusion, I believe, right? Let's see. Oh man, I want to say it's LumaFusion. Yeah, LumaFusion. This is by far the best editing app for Android. Easily the best editing app. It eclipsed everything else. It is a one-time payment of, I think, like $20, but at least it's not a subscription payment, which I hate that, like, all these other companies, Power Director, KeyMaster, all these other ones do that. So I love that it was a one-time payment. And I was able to put it on all my own devices. So I have it on my phone, on my tablet. If I ever need to edit a video, I can just use that and it's good. I know some editors that edit with that now, like, and that's what they're using from now on. Yeah. Any solution for making calls not being made or received, airplane mode off, or anything like that? Wi-Fi calling. Yeah, Wi-Fi calling would definitely be what I would use most of the time. It is something I went over in the S23 video recently for the tips and tricks video, because that's one thing that I always recommend people going over. Like, you need to know if you need Wi-Fi calling, because if you do not have good service in your area, Wi-Fi calling will typically save you. If you don't have good service in your area, you also should know that, one, your text messages might not always come through. So that's because that's based on if it's not RCS text messages, so Android to Android, you might not get all your text messages, or iMessage too. But the one thing I will say is that you can also get an in-home amplifier. So T-Mobile sells it for free for theirs. I'm sure AT&T and Verizon still have one as well. I think I had Verizon back in the day. We used it on my mom's house when their service was getting bad before we left to T-Mobile. But basically it improves, it uses the power of your Wi-Fi at home to increase its signal for your area's mobile area, so that you get a much better ability. And again, they're usually free too, so that's what's really cool about it. I don't think that's it, since other phones are working fine. The Wi-Fi is still working fine. I think I might have a SIM card issue. It might be a SIM card issue, but it could be a SIM card issue. But I mean, Wi-Fi calling should fix it though too. If it's not, I don't know why it wouldn't. Because Wi-Fi calling essentially turns it in so that you do not have to have a good regular internet, regular data service in your home area, but it just uses Wi-Fi to connect the call. So it should be good, but if it's not, then yeah, it could just be a SIM card issue. Just get it swapped out. Alright guys, I think we will be winding down soon. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Thank you guys for sticking around, for those who were around for the debacle for the camera. But yeah, I will catch you guys later this week with some other videos. Obviously, we have the best screen protector coming from the Galaxy S23. You'll never guess who it is. And then all the cases videos. We have a lot of cases videos going up. So yeah, guys, hopefully you enjoy it all. And if you guys have any curiosity on any other videos, please let me know. Thank you as always so much for watching. This has been RICKY, the YouTube Tech Guy.